The YSL RICO case has been silent, but many new updates are now being released regarding the head honchos of YSL being Young Thug and Gunna. While Young Thug is going through one of the hardest court cases to beat in the entire world, here's what Gunna's been up to. As someone caught footage of Gunna driving around in his drop top, enjoying his supercar in a carefree world ever since snitching on Young Thug. Now this reveals that Gunna, he wanted to save himself and no one else. Gunna knew how serious this court case has become as the trial is now starting. The rapper needed an out or else he would be looking at life in prison alongside Young Thug, and with the video of Gunna going viral, driving his supercar around, he would then later post this to his Instagram story. 3 laughing emojis, practically laughing at the situation, as Young Thug fans are reaching out by the thousands, asking why did you snitch on Young Thug and things in that nature. Now this was also the time the reasoning behind Gunna snitching on Young Thug was revealed. Now before hearing why Gunna snitched on Young Thug, it's important to know the snitching timeline of all YSL members. The day after the YSL mansion was raided and 28 members of YSL were arrested, 4 members immediately began snitching the moment they walked into the jail doors. Now this was all mentioned during the first court hearing for the YSL RICO case.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will kill them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Leave a like on the video if you're a fan of Young Thug. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. Now that court hearing was only a few days after the arrest of YSL. Members went straight to creating what's called a proffer deal, meaning these YSL members, they snitched on Young Thug in exchange to receive a lesser prison sentence or no prison sentence at all. Over the course of the YSL arrest, on average, 1 to 2 people would snitch every single 2 weeks. And with the evidence stacking up on Young Thug, the worst thing imaginable happened to the YSL head honcho. His best friend, co-owner, and someone that he calls a brother began snitching on him, being the one and only Gunna. As on December 14th, YSL rapper Gunna accepted a plea deal inside the courtroom. In this plea deal, he admitted that YSL is a street team that commits crimes that are directed by Young Thug, as shared during this video clip.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Now with Gunna snitching against Young Thug, this gave the feds all of the evidence that they need to go fully against him. It also became clear at this point the prosecutors, they don't want anyone else other than Young Thug. They are asking every single person in YSL, hey, you want out of jail? Give us some information on Young Thug and you're free. As ever since December 14th, the YSL case looks very grim, as we saw new evidence presented in the courtroom against the head honcho himself. Evidence that were all provided by the snitches in the case, meaning they all have hard evidence for it. As we saw reports being released of, and I quote, Young Thug looks very defeated in court recently, with this video clip attached. Now that video clip went viral online. Court officials, they also added to the report when it was released stating, notice in the video clip how Young Thug is alone in the courtroom. No other YSL members are being told the new charges and new evidence, proving that he is being targeted the most out of everybody in the YSL RICO case. Now this makes the case 100 times more serious. Young Thug's sister also spoke up about the clip, telling us to realize that Young Thug is going to court daily, 8 hours a day, people he called brothers turning on him and snitching on him. This is a very hard time for him, as it seems as if every court hearing Young Thug is involved in during the YSL RICO trial, people are either setting him up, snitching on him, or affecting his future in the case. As very recently a YSL member in court tried allegedly setting Young Thug up for something very serious, as it was announced that Young Thug and another YSL member tried pulling something in front of several cameras and security guards inside of the courtroom. As Young Thug was quickly caught in the process, this is what occurred during trial. When this happened in the courtroom, it was announced, and I quote, exclusive. My colleague Mark just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant, Khalif Adams, of conduring a hand-to-hand deal in court. As the Twitter thread continues, prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adam walk over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney, and he then drops narcotics in his hand. A deputy then confronts Young Thug, and he turns over the item to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. According to investigators, Adams was taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes within the courtroom. Prosecutors filed a motion asking the court to, quote, make a finding of fact that court was delayed on January 18th, 2023. because of the actions of defendant Williams and defendant Adams. To the final tweet stating, an attorney named Keith Adams for Young Thug responded to allegations that his client was involved in the deal. With this audio of one of Young Thug's lawyers reacting to these allegations in the video released online.
The reality is, Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants, on his way to the restroom, attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
Now, while all of this was going down in the courtroom, there was other things happening on social media to Gunna, as Young Thug fans do not want to just see Gunna be able to walk free and return to music and make a ton of money. So after the Gunna snitching video went viral online, DJ Academics tweeted, YSL is having a beef on Instagram. Gunna came out and tried testing the water, claiming YSL the label, and even said free Young Thug. And everybody in YSL is looking at Gunna like, buddy, you're the reason that he's in there, as they all unfollowed him right after, even Young Thug's sister as well. So this all began when Gunna tweeted, "Rest in peace Lil Keed, I love you and I miss you twin," regarding to the fact that Lil Keed, he is a YSL rapper who sadly passed right at the start of the YSL RICO trial, meaning that Gunna at that time was sitting in jail before now being released. And he even then posted an Instagram picture at his in-home studio with a caption stating, "People acting like they're switching to a side, but it's only one side. Hashtag YSL the label, free Young Thug and Yak." This Instagram post got a lot of backlash from YSL members that are staying true to YSL and Young Thug during this trial, as YSL King Mondo replied to Gunna on Instagram stating, "I ain't gonna bite my tongue. Baby boy, you don't need to be saying nothing about YSL or free Young Thug after what you said and did. You really got some nerve." With YSL members going after Gunna, stating that he is no longer in YSL and should not speak on Young Thug or YSL in general, this is making a lot of Young Thug fans happy. If it's making you happy as well, or if you don't really mind, leave a like on the video. I'm curious how many Young Thug fans are watching today. It's been District Trending and I'm out. Peace.